Good evening, students. This is pathology for BSc Nursing second year student. Chapter gastrointestinal system, and here we are going to deal with the tumors of small intestine and large intestine. So, the cancer of large bowel or large intestine is the second most common cause for carcinoma in both males and females, and majority of tumors are epithelial in origin and represent 70% of malignancies arising in the GI tract and can be benign or malignant. So here what happened that the large bowel cancer, which is the second most cause of carcinoma, is present in both males and females, and majority of the tumors are having epithelial in origin, and 70% of malignancies are arising in the GI tract and can be benign or malignant also. Etiopathogenesis or the causes. The colon cancer cause is unknown. The various risk factors suggested are advanced age, family history of colon cancer or polyp, history of inflammatory bowel disease, a diet in fat, protein, deep or low in fiber. Now the classification of intestinal tumor. The classification of intestinal tumor. The intestinal tumors are classified as non-neoplastic polyps, neoplastic polyps and familial polyps, polyposis syndrome. Non-neoplastic polyps we are going to discuss. That is hyperplastic polyps, hematomatous polyps, inflammatory polyps and lymphoid polyps. Then neoplastic polyps, adenoma and malignant lesions. In adenoma, this is tubular adenoma, tubulovillous adenoma, villous adenoma. Then malignant lesions, adenocarcinoma, carcinoid tumor, and then familial polyposis syndromes are Gardner syndrome, Turcot syndrome and juvenile polyposis syndrome. Again, let's see one more time. Non-neoplastic polyps are having hyperplastic polyps, hematomatous polyps, inflammatory polyps and lymphoid polyps. Then neoplastic polyps of the intestinal tumor are adenoma and malignant lesions. Adenomas are tubular adenoma, tubulovillous adenoma, villous adenoma. Then malignant lesions are adenocarcinoma, carcinoid tumor, then familial polyposis syndrome, Gardner syndrome, Turcot syndrome and juvenile polyp syndrome. So this is the classification. Let us see in detail about these. We will see only the definition and little about the types of inflammation. First one is the polyps is a tumorous mass. Already we have seen that produced out of the lumen of the gut and can be sessile or pedunculated. It is of two types, non-neoplastic and neoplastic only. Non-neoplastic polyps, these are formed as a result of abnormal mucosal maturation or inflammation. Means there will be the abnormal mucosal maturation will occur or inflammation will occur, and these polyps have no malignant potential. Means they will have no malignant properties, and they are result due to the abnormal mucosal maturation or inflammation. Means if there is abnormal mucosal maturation or inflammation, then these polyps will have appearance and they have no malignant potentials. Then hematomatous polyps and juvenile polyps. There are many polyps. First we will see the hematomatous polyps. Juvenile polyps is there. Is seen mainly in children below the age of 5. Majority occurs in the rectum only, usually single, large, rounded, smooth with a stalk up to 2 cm in length. Histologically, the lamina propria constitute the bulk of the polyp with abundant dilated glands. These polyps will have no malignant potential. Then the next will be the Purge Jaeger's polyps. It is the hematomatous polyps only. These two types are there: juvenile polyps and then Peutz-Jeghers polyps. Peutz-Jeghers polyps are usually seen in Peutz-Jeghers syndrome and are lined by normal mucosal and have smooth muscle core. Muscle core is smooth, and this syndrome is characterized by polyps, pigmentation around the lip, oral mucosa, face, genitalia, and palmar surface of the hand. Then the hyperplastic polyps. The hyperplastic polyps or hyperplasia, these are most commonly seen in the single or attached with a stalk and lined by normal mucosa. Most of them are less than 5 mm and rarely up to 2 cm. Microscopically, these are composed of well-formed glands and crypts lined by non-neoplastic epithelium and stand for lamina propria. Inflammatory polyps develop due to inflammatory cause, and these are due to re-epithelialization of the underlying ulcers or overhanging margins in the inflammatory bowel disease. They are usually multiple and lined by normal mucosa, but there is a presence of inflammatory cells in the core. Then lymphoid polyps, usually nodular formation, which is due to overgrowth of the lymphoid tissue present in some mucosa. Then second is neoplastic polyps. Neoplastic polyps arise as a result of proliferative dysplasia, and these are adenomatous polyps or adenoma, and they are called as true neoplastic lesions and are precursor of carcinoma. So let's see adenoma. Benign adenomas develop from the glandular secretion. Adenomatous polyps are intraepithelial neoplasms that range from small open pedunculated to the large sessile ones. Colonic adenomas 20 to 30% before 40 years of age and 40 to 50% after 60 years of age. Familial predisposition. 4 folds of increase in the relatives. Basically, the adenomas are of 3 types. Tubular adenoma, tubular glands 90 to 95%. Villous adenoma or villous projection 1%, and tubo-villous adenomas of mixture 5 to 10%. So we have seen that these are due to glandular secretion developed. Neoplasm will be there, intraepithelial neoplasm, and they will have colonic adenomas 20 to 30% before 40 years of age and 40 to 50% 60 years of age. And it is of 3 types: tubular adenomas, villous adenoma, and tubo-villous adenomas. Then let's see about these types. Tubular adenomas. These are present in any of the tubular structures like areas of large and small intestine, breast, etc. About 90% present in colon, occurs mostly in the distal colon and the rectum, mostly found singly. As small adenomas are smooth colored and sessile, and large ones are coarsely lobulated and pedunculated. They rarely exceed more than 2.5 cm in diameter. Microscopically, the stalk has fibrovascular core, which are covered by non-neoplastic mucosa. Then head is composed of neoplastic epithelium forming branching glands. Then in benign tumor adenomas, the branching glands are well separated by lamina propria. Sometimes there may be moderate to severe dysplasia of the epithelium with areas over the malignancies. So adenomas, pedunculated, tubular, and sessile villous. These you can see sessile villous, how they appear and how they develop into the peduncles. So mucosa layer also you can see mucosa, submucosa, and muscularis propria. Then villous adenoma. Villous adenoma are the larger and they are finger-like projections present in the intestine, help for absorption of food. Villous adenoma are larger and tend to occur in older persons. Most commonly seen in the rectum and rectal sigmoid region. They are usually sessile up to 10 cm. They will have the height of 10 cm in diameter, velvety, cauliflower-like masses, and project 1 to 3 cm upon the surrounding mucosa. Here you can see 1 to 3 cm they are. Then microscopically we can see sorry. There are finger-like villiform extension of mucosa covered by dysplastic disorderly columnar epithelium and invasive carcinoma is seen, and invasion is seen directly into the wall of the colon. So microscopically what happens? So they are having finger-like villiform extension, and they are covered by the dysplastic disorderly columnar epithelium. Invasive carcinoma are seen, and invasion is directly into the wall of colon. This will be seen in the next diagram. You can see the villous adenoma. Then tubulo-villous adenoma. Tubulo-villous adenoma are typically intermediate between the tubular and the villous adenoma. These are peduncle or sessile. The risk of having carcinoma in situ or invasive carcinoma correlate with the proportion of villous lesions present. Specific features of adenoma. All adenoma lesions are arising as a result of epithelial proliferative dysplasia. Means all the adenoma have special features. Why they will arise? This is most important. Because of epithelium development causing abnormality in the structure, mild to moderate, and then severe. Then they are pre-malignant in nature, means having malignancy property. The malignant risk with an adenomatous polyps is correlated with size, histological architect, and epithelial dysplasia. Thus, cancer rare in tubular adenoma is less than 1 cm in size. Risk of carcinoma high in villous adenomere than 4 cm in size. Severe dysplasia often found in villous area, and period in which adenoma double in size is about 10 years, or they are slow growing. So up to this classification we have seen adenoma. Then comes the malignant lesions, that is the adenocarcinoma and carcinoid tumor. Up to adenoma we have discussed. So malignant lesions, let's see. Malignant tumor. The malignant tumor are having colorectal carcinoma, carcinoid tumors. Two things are seen in the this malignant tumor, that is correlated with size only, colorectal carcinoma and carcinoid tumor. So let's see. Colorectal carcinoma. The carcinoma develops from colon and rectal areas. The 98% of all the cancers are in large intestine, and these are adenocarcinomas. They generally arise in the polyps and produce the signs and symptoms relatively early, so can be cured by the resection. The peak incidence is 60 to 70 years, and less than 20% are seen before the 50 years of age, which are associated with the ulcerative colitis or the polyposis syndrome. Means the colorectal carcinoma is 98% in all cancers will be seen. Colorectal area mostly, means they are developed from the colon and rectal area. So the 98% of all cancers in the large intestine are adenocarcinoma. They will be adenocarcinoma in nature, and they are only from the adenomatous tissue, and they generally arise in polyps, means they will become polyps-like structure, and signs and symptoms will be very early. So it can be cured by resection. Resection surgery should be done. Peak incidence for colorectal carcinoma will be 60 to 70 years, and less than 20% are seen before the age of 50 years of age, which are associated with the ulcerative colitis. The next part of this I will discuss in the next video.